Welcome to Dukascopy TV with me, Alex Izat. After 3 straight months of trade deficit, Thailand's trade balance posted a surplus in June. The trade surplus totaled 1.79 billion in June compared to a shortfall of 809 million in May. Exports advanced 3.9% in June from last year, reversing the 2.1% fall in May. Meanwhile, imports plunged 14% following a 9.3% drop in the prior month. During January to June, the trade surplus came in at $236.7 million. Giving an insight into economic turmoil is Dr. Tim Forsyth, Professor of Environment and Development at London School of Economics. Tim, the trade balance showed an unprecedented surplus when economists predicted a 0.6 billion deficit. What do you think are the reasons behind this skew?
Well, I think the economists were probably predicting more of a turn than actually happened. I think there's been a lot of doom and gloom about Thailand because of the recent political problems, but the reality is that Thailand's economy is still quite strong. I think tourism has taken a bit of a hit, but the actual underlying agricultural produce and industrial produce has actually been quite strong despite of these problems.
Has the fact that there is a military government done anything to improve the situation? Could this continue into the long term?
Well, certainly in the short term, the military government has taken very deliberate steps to increase investment and to restore investors' confidence. So, for example, they've committed themselves, at least verbally, to projects such as a new express train network inside Thailand, which is quite an exciting project because it will connect fast trains all over Southeast Asia. They've also said that they will do infrastructure projects such as dams and roads and other sorts of industrial estate things, which is exactly the sort of thing that investors want to hear. So in the short term, yes, they are doing very strong acts to restore confidence. But in the longer term, of course, having a military government does not lead towards political stability, and many of the problems which were causing people to go on the streets and protest a few months ago will still be in the background and will probably come back when the military government goes away.
The prolonged crisis undermined consumer confidence in the country, yet exports still rose. How can the government get the country back on an even keel?
Well, it's trying to do that at the moment through this process of, first of all, shutting down political protest. So for the last few years, Thailand has been in a turmoil of either red shirts or yellow shirts on the streets trying to disrupt the government and disrupt the city of Bangkok. So the current government, the military government, has said that this is now forbidden. And therefore, I think that will get rid of the problem. But to a certain extent, it is also hiding the problem because I think the political instability and the lack of trust in government and parliament is still there. And I think one of the key problems is that the influence of Thaksin Shinawatra, the deposed prime minister, is still very strong. And I think the government will be trying to work out some kind of solution to stop Thaksin having an influence on Thai politics. And of course, it's very difficult to know what will happen, but I think there will be strong negotiations and deals being discussed now to try and make sure that Thaksin does not come back and try to influence Thai politics.
Thank you, Tim. That's all we have for today. Keep checking in with Dukascopy TV for the latest news. Goodbye.